Good afternoon to you. This is David Richard with Bounce and Tribe, Body, Mind, and Spirit. Well, I had one topic I was going to do today, but since I wore a different shirt, and hopefully you can see this is my Yoda shirt. Yes, I know if you're seeing this on Facebook, it's backwards, but if it's anywhere else, I think I flipped it up before I was able to upload it. But on the shirt, it's a picture there, and it's kind of like one of those flyers you have up there, and you get to pull out what's little strips of paper. So what it is Yoda, free words of wisdom. So I want to go ahead and go over these and how I interpret them, and they relate to Balancing the Triad. So I'm just going to go down the list here. May the Force be with you. So to me, that kind of relates, as we're talking about Balancing the Triad, is whatever you believe in, there's always something around us that's beyond ourselves. Now, whether you believe in a higher power or simply just energy of nature, there's something out there. There's inherent energy between people. I think you just kind of need to believe in that. There's something that's flowing through our lives. Do or do not. There is no try. Now, sometimes we use this word interchangeably, but too often, and I am fully guilty of this as well, is that when we say try, it doesn't necessarily mean we put our full effort into it. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're actually going to make a real attempt out. Now, not all the time, but I think a good portion of the time. We go through and we don't really do something. Instead of just doing it to the best of our ability, it's like, okay, I'm going to try. Your heart's not necessarily into it. You're not going to put a whole lot of effort into it. Size matters not. This one here, I'm thinking in a couple of different ways. One is, the quote, this is from Empire Strikes Back, where he's referring, I think it's Empire Strikes Back, but it's referring to literally physical size. And now that does play a factor as to sometimes the heart of people varies. Their physical size doesn't mean anything. But I also want to think about this as size doesn't matter. Your age doesn't matter. None of those factors matter, but it does take place as in the inside part of it. What is your heart? What's on your heart and your mind, but more so your heart. That's where I'm going to lean towards this one here. That can work and make a difference. You must feel the force around you. Same thing, I think, going back to that first statement, is there is something in this world. Again, if you believe in a higher power or not, that's completely up to you. But even if you spend some time outside, just within nature, being out with the trees, being in the forest, being around the ocean, there is something there that you can feel. That is what I kind of think for a lot of people. I do energy work, so that this takes on a little different meaning for me, but being able to feel that presence around you. Sometimes you've had some down times, you might just feel something there that's more comforting, whatever that is. Make sure it spends, I think it's also make sure you spend some quiet time to sense that quietness, that stillness, and there's something always be felt within that. Fear is a path to the dark side. This comes down to a video. I don't know if I showed it. Sometimes the videos, the days blend together a little bit. But it has to do with what we think. It's easy in one aspect because our mind is geared. It's a negative bias. We start thinking about negativity automatically. If you got to start to think about something, what possibly could go wrong, it's almost like this is borrowed from John Assaraf. You have like this file cabinet in your brain. If you can think about the negative thing that would happen, your brain's going to go into this file cabinet and try to find out the negative. Now, whether it happened to yourself, whether you read it, where you heard it from somebody else, or you made it up, it's going to go find that and say, look, here's something negative. So it can be very easy to start going down a spiral of darkness, of negativity. But you got to be aware of that and make the choice to not go down, to not feed the negative in your brain, to feed yourself with a positive, to think positive, to get yourself to uplifting things. Even if you start something, quote unquote, bad happens, a lost loved one, a lost relationship injury, you can still choose how you want to view that situation, because situations do not have meanings until we assign one to them. Same thing continues on here. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. So if we let ourselves go down to that negative spiral, and I'm sure you've known, especially with the recent political stuff that was going on in the United States, oh man, it can get really nasty. People, death threats, friendships ending simply because someone has a different viewpoint than you. that is, sometimes I come across this, just like, wow, really? You're not allowed to have a different viewpoint? So to me, that's where the negative spiral goes down. You can start beating yourself up. You can start beating up around you. You can start blaming others. That's when hatred comes in, hating your life, hating others around you, and then basically you're the one that's suffering. As it comes across, it is, was it Einstein or was it, can't even think of his name. Author, where they said a lot of times, this is kind of like the lines of having poison. You're drinking the poison. You want to give someone, you're drinking the poison, hoping it's going to affect the other person. I think that's the one I was looking for. So that's where I view the downward spiral going through that. Always in motion is the future. You never know what's going to happen. And if you go into quantum physics has multiple dimensions, multiple realities. And one of the theories is, you come up with a decision, you got direction, choice A or choice B. You make choice B. So your life's going this way. Well, someone else and you made a choice A and going off the other direction. So there's two different realities to split there. You got three choices, you got three different realities. So you never know what's going to happen. Your future is constantly made and you have a choice. A quote, I can't even remember who says it. I'm going to paraphrase here. About destiny is a matter of choice, not a matter of chance. You get to choose the direction you want to go into. You get to choose how you react to situations. You get to choose what you do. And as Dr. Ihale Yakula from who does Ho'oponopono talks about, do you ever realize whenever there's a problem, you're there? So you're responsible in some way, shape, or form. Doesn't mean you're directly responsible, but you still have responsibility about how you choose to react. So that's that one there. Mind what you have learned. Say what you can. I'm from one of, you heard me talk about this before, is I think we need to be constantly learning, forever learning something new. Come with an open mind. There's always new ideas coming up. You might have seen posts that come up where it talks about, these are statements that were made in the 50s, how everything's always been invented. Man cannot do this. Think about the 4-minute mile. Physiologically, they said it was impossible for someone to do the 4-minute mile. Your body couldn't handle it yet. John Barrister, maybe that's right, if I remember right. He's the one that said, look, it can't be done. He proved it. Now we got 3-minute miles. You got to take the lessons. Well, the idea is learn. A lot of times, the lessons we are given, sometimes they're repeated several times until we actually learn them. And many times, it's a choice. You need to take the chance to learn what's going on in your life, learn from it, hopefully do better. And one of the best things to do is learn from others. You don't have time to make all the mistakes, so learn from other people. You must learn control. The way I view this one here is kind of what I talked to already about the idea of negativity. You have a choice about what direction you go into. And it's also to the point where when something comes up, do you choose to react or do you respond? Reaction is normally a gut reaction. It's an instinct. It's like a reflex. You don't think about this response. It could be negativity, it could be anger, whatever it is. Respond is usually where you take some time to at least ponder it, think about it, then give your response to the situation, then give an answer like that. Have control of the situation. There are certain things we can do out of habit. Habit can be good, habit can be bad. You talk to some people that smoke cigarettes. A lot of times, it's a habit. They don't necessarily need it, but it's a habit. They choose not to control that. And I know there's a lot more involved than just that. If you get up in the morning, first thing you do is, do you make a pot of coffee or turn on a cup? Do you think about, do I want a cup of coffee now or tea? Or do you automatically go do it? What control do you choose to have over your life? And yeah, it's a choice. You got to be aware of it and to make those decisions. The dark side clouds everything. Impossible to see the future is. Going back, we've been talking about the negativity. If you are drowned in negativity, if that's all you surround yourself with, if that's all you think about, yeah, you're not going to see. You're going to be pretty much in blinders here. You're not going to see what's around you. You're not going to see the potential that you could do. And just like a lot of times with the news is designed for negativity. I have any of the people I follow, these are millionaires, multimillionaires, billionaires, none of them watch the news. Because there's nothing to gain from it. It is a negative bias. It's designed for that. All it is doing negative. It's trying to scare the crap out of you, scare the shit out of you, depending on how you think about this. Very often, they show about this much good. But if you take some time to find out, you'll find out there's just this much good and more taking place in the world. But you're not going to find that. But yeah, if you only look at the negative, you only look at how bad things are instead of what you can be done. I talked about, I think it was yesterday's video, do you prove yourself right or do you prove yourself wrong? If you think it can't be done, go find someone who's done it. Prove that it can be done. But if you're in that negative, if you're in a victim mentality, woe is me, yeah, your future is going to be clouded. You're not going to be able to see what the hell's going on. You got to clear away those dark clouds, that darkness. Find some positivity. Even if you have to, find someone. This is what Martha Craig was talking about today in her Q&A. If you need to, find someone else who can believe in you that when you can't quite believe in yourself. It could be a family member, a loved one. Get into a social community, social media community that does that. Encourages, boosts people up. Do something that's going to do that and help you along. Coaches, that's what I'll be doing, is be able to go through and you can help people along in that way. Named must your fear be before banished it can be. To me, this is, as with many things, you can't change what you don't acknowledge. So if something's going on in your life, first thing is you got to acknowledge it. You got to say, okay, I need to make this change. Is it a health? Is it your weight? Is it your job? Is it relationships? You got to call out what it is and identify for what it is. Now that's in general. Plus we can even acknowledge fear itself. Fear depends on different acronyms. Face everything and rise. Face everything and run. False evidence appearing real. False emotions appearing real. Variety of ways, because most of the time, the fear we have, most of the time, has no threat on our lives, has no threat on our physical well-being. We are feared, we are scared of getting embarrassed, looking dumb, making a mistake. And I am fully guilty of that. That's why it took me so long to start making these videos again. But if you can call out fear for what it is, call out fear, call out whatever emotions. And remember, emotions only last for 90 seconds. They last longer than that's the emotion that you attach. It's the story that you attach to them. You call them for what it is. You identify them. Once it's done, then you can be gone with it. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that's not going to come back up again, but at least you can acknowledge it. You understand for really what it is. And the fear comes up, emotion comes up. There is a message there. They come up for a reason. They normally don't come up out of nowhere. There's something attached to it. There's a story you told yourself. Figure out what it is, call it out for what it is, and then banish it. All right, so there is 3 words of wisdom from Jedi Master Yoda. So let me know in the comments which one of these resonate with you. Which one, if you're a Star Wars fan. Now, I am definitely a Star Wars fan, but I fall under Star Wars, the original one, New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. Out of the other 8 movies, I've seen 1, and that was it. So I haven't seen any of the movies other than the original 3, which I adore. But what was your favorite line? What was your favorite words of wisdom from Yoda? Or if you have another one that wasn't on this t-shirt here, let me know. All right, so let me know that. Find out where you're going, and we'll catch you next time. So take care and have yourself a wonderful day.